Wow, it's crooked. We're live.
What up? Let's get weird. It's your boy Tommy G, a very, very hungover shot. This is bad, man. Monday at 2 p.m., this might have been a bad decision, guys. Bill.
Whose decision was that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many of these I'm going to make. I mean, because I'm trying to make as many shows as possible.
For the second time during the show, swear to God, just came on thing. You said you heard a noise right before we went on.
Yeah.
Someone's banging the door again.
It's the same woman.
This kid gets FEMA at his house every 15 minutes. The fuck, dude, Ghost. I'm so hungover right now. I don't know how we're gonna do this.
You're hungover. I'm pissed the fuck off. For as great as our plays went yesterday, it's a miserable fucking Monday morning.
Well, see, that's the other thing. I'm pissed at myself because of some of my plays too. So, Evan, let's start with you since you're probably in a better mood. I'm hungover. Ghost made a technical error, I believe, last night on his own play and put the wrong player in. I did it on Saturday, so I know he's pissed because of that. Bill's got the fucking FBI at his door. Evan, how was your weekend as a Jets fan? It couldn't have been that good.
It wasn't great, man. I was expecting big things out of Zach Wilson, and my man he was seeing ghosts, as Sam Darnold said.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
That his throws were just they were just off. But eventually, fourth quarter, he came back and then he decided, he wanted to play some football. And Corey Davis went off. But man, we gotta. Sam Darnold got his revenge. I don't like that.
Are you worried about Wilson going forward?
No, he's a rookie. He's literally younger than me. So that's I'm imagining myself playing in an NFL game right now. I'd be shitting myself too. So get him comfortable. The dude's got a fucking rocket on him. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned with Wilson. I like that he got better at the end of the game. It wasn't full blowout potential where it was just prevent defense. It was a little softer, obviously, when they were down 16. I thought he looked a lot better in the fourth quarter, so I think there's something positive to take away from it at least, rather than the misery that we saw to begin the game. Bill, who was at your door?
Mail lady. So, with a certified mail, which was a good thing this time because it was my check from State Farm.
So this was a good. So it was the check for the female lady coming the other day.
You know it, baby. Let's go.
All
Free
right.
money.
All right, Bill ripping off insurance companies left and right to shovel shit on his flooded base. So Bill, I just said this weekend, I mean, our free bets on the show, the Stay Cashin show, we all won.
Yes.
Literally clean sweep, so that was good. I had Tyrod Taylor over 16.5. That cashed easy. I think he had 42 yards, and he should have had a lot more. He almost got game scripted out of it, right? They were up by so much. Bill, you had, what was your play?
Cool.
That's right. You had Koo. That hit in the first quarter.
Yep.
Ghost, you blew through yours, right?
Yeah, I had Gibson over 13.5 rush attempts. I think he had 7 or 8 by the end of the first quarter.
That was easy.
That smashed.
And then Healy had Corey Davis, which I thought was the best play of all of ours, honestly, that 3.5. We all smashed the Corey Davis. We had to sweat it a little bit.
He ended up being the biggest sweat out of all of them.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's what we were just talking about. Zach Wilson was so bad. That was literally a floor game for the Jets.
I thought he played awful.
He did.
I just caught the end of your thing. You're saying he played. I think he is not prepared. I don't think he's ready. He's taken way too many hits in that game. He has another game like that, he's going to get injured. It's only a matter of time. Your body can't sustain that. Look at all the quarterbacks who've been taking these big hits. They don't sustain it. Fitzpatrick, out for the year now.
Yeah.
The body gets older. You get these hits. He's young, but he's not going to last. He's going to get a Burrow situation. He's going to get hit, and he's going to be out for the year. So I saw nothing. And I watched the whole game because we had a bet on it for Davis, and we had to sweat it through the end, but he looked like shit.
It's frustrating, a team like that struggling that much. You have your top receiver, and you don't even get him the ball more than twice until the fourth quarter. That was the most frustrating part about watching Wilson and watching the Jets was how he wasn't even looking at him. Even just the short passes. He had one long target in the first quarter, and then he had that one catch, and that was it. That was the frustrating part for me.
Yeah, I think maybe the first half he was 1 for 8 with about 7 yards.
Yeah, it was scary. It was. I mean, listen, we had a bunch of bets on Corey Davis, so we all needed Corey Davis. We all played him in DFS. I played him 100% on DFS lineups. Ended up being one of the biggest, probably the best value play of the day, maybe even. Corey Davis. But it was scary. He came through. That was a great – I mean, you got to think, when you can smash a prop that hard on a floor game, you know, when the quarterback played his worst he could physically play, that's when you know you had a good – if Zach Wilson even played decent, Corey Davis might have ended that game with 9-10 catches. So I'm with you, Ghost. Hopefully next week they realize they got to start getting him the ball. And then I think that was it for our free plays, right? Those were our 4 free bets. So we were 4 for 4 on the free bets to start the show. I want to go through each game and kind of give input on it. I don't know. I know, Ghost, you were out for a little bit, so I don't know if you caught every game, but you were in the chat with us most of the time over at 4deepbets.com. Me personally, I had a pretty good 1 p.m. slate. It seemed a little shaky. A lot of things came in at the end on a lot of those props. Tyrod Taylor, Corey Davis, all that. I'm going to bitch about the 4 p.m. because 2 things just skull-fucked me at 4 p.m. But how did your day go yesterday, Ghost?
It went good. We had 2 early plays and then 2 late-night plays. The only one that we didn't hit was the 1100 long shot play. We hit the Corey Davis. We hit the Corey Davis touchdown prop, which I also gave out on Twitter. You know, I liked what I saw in the 1 p.m. games. The 4 p.m. games, I fell short. I'm glad I wound up staying away. We talked about it in chat, the Denver Giant game. That was the only bad game for me.
Okay. Bill?
Again, 1 p.m., made a little bit of money. Didn't kill it, but made money. 4 p.m., like me and Ghost were in chat, I told him I wasn't really betting it. I had Kansas City huge in my parlay from the beginning of the week with Sabalenka and Tampa Bay. So I break my bets up throughout the week. If you can, it's a great way to do it. You can hedge on the last one. I got a hedge in on Kansas City also. But, yeah, I stayed away from a lot of those 4 p.m. games. And then at night, basically I didn't really love anything on that either. Just we came in there, we hit David Montgomery live probably about 4 times in the chat. And then I posted it too. I am 3-0 on live bets, guys. You'll only get live bets in the chat. We send them out too, but you got to be a member. We kill live plays. I'm 3-0. I think Tommy's 1 or 2-0. We kill them. We killed that David Montgomery last night. That was free money, guys. They kept putting it like 2 yards over, and they were gonna, you know, they had a whole quarter to go. They're gonna run the ball. Yep. That worked out well. So yeah, 1 p.m. was good. I made money and then just sat back and watched Kansas City.
Yeah, my 1 p.m. went really good, shockingly good. It was one of those where 1 p.m. ended and I looked at my account. I was like, holy shit, where'd all this money come from, right? Like, I didn't feel like it was going well because it was a little odd. But like I said, everything came through at the end. 4 p.m. was going great. There was 3 things that fucked me yesterday. One was me just parlaying a couple too many things. That fumble in the Patriots game sent me nuclear. That was probably a $20,000 fumble. I had the Patriots everywhere. All you got to do is hold on to the ball in that situation. Tua is not leading a game-winning drive with a minute and a half left. You're already at the fucking 15-yard line. Your number one priority is just to hold on to the fucking ball. All you need to, you should be running like this with that ball. You don't need yards. You don't need a touchdown. You're already in field goal range and you have a good kicker. That pissed me the fuck off. So that was a bad beat. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, we got to talk about that in a second.
Let me tell you something about Miami first. You shit on Tua every chance you get.
Sucks.
Tua played great. Tua led them to a victory. He probably made the best play I've ever seen so far. Like, it was for short. He made that fake, and he ran it in. The fake handoff fooled everybody, including the cameraman. He's going to – listen, I think that team's good. I think they win the division. Let's watch out.
I hate Tua. I thought he played like shit. Ghost?
I hate Tua.
Everyone does. He beat your boys, though. He beat your boys. That's all I have to say. He beat your boy.
He didn't.
There was a reason why Jones was a backup and Tua was a starter.
Time out. Mac Jones outplayed Tua by a
Let's just put it that way. There was a reason Tua was a starter and Mac Jones
was older, you idiot. Yeah.
Just because you're older, you're not better? When you were a sophomore, you started over a senior, right?
Bro, Mac Jones outplayed Tua by a mile.
Mac
Jones was 29 for 39.
Let's see what happens.
He was 16 for 27 with 200 yards.
What happens at the end of the year?
Yeah, okay. Well, if there's no fumble, he loses that game, and it's a whole different talk.
Hey, you fumbled.
Anyway, that's the dumbest thing you ever said. That Tua is better.
Let's see what happens.
Mac Jones already better than Tua.
All right.
So we'll be arguing this all year on Stay Cash, and me and Bill fucking hate each other and been arguing too. I just want to remind everyone that in the chat, those of you who are 4 Deep Bet subscribers, remember at the end of last year when Bill actually ceded to me that Tua sucks, and now the season started again, so now he's back on the Tua train. So give him till like week 3.
We did it again. The Vikings has been named America's most reliable.
Fucking ESPN, fuck you. Why? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, my ESPN does.
Why does ESPN just fucking
pop-up commercials out of nowhere?
Why?
Yep.
Why?
Happened yesterday. I was in the chat.
Why can't I just fucking be on ESPN's site without some car commercial screaming at me?
I actually have mine on now too, and it's probably
it's gonna come on. It's fucking annoying. Now I gotta do it on my phone because I want to go game by game with Fox Square. So anyway, and then the other thing that was crazy. And
that's mine.
No,
I told you. I told you it was coming. I knew it. Like clockwork. I knew it.
The other thing that was amazing, and this is what really fucked me a little bit, and this is like one of those things you learn that you forget about from the year before, going all in on a game with a bunch of player props, and then the game flow just fucking scripts you completely out. Players get benched. That was the biggest mistake I made, biggest takeaway with the Green Bay game. Just didn't think there was a chance that was going to happen. I mean, we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers here. This is a whole discussion for a few minutes. We'll start with this game, but I mean, I had Aaron Rodgers over. I had his over touchdowns. I had Devontae Adams. I had fucking Jones receiving. I had Callaway. I had Kamara props. I had I loaded that game up. So there was one huge mistake I made yesterday, and that was loading up on that game. I knew the Saints would move the ball. I knew the Saints would score. I'm a big Jameis guy. I fucking love Jameis Winston. I think he's better than Drew Brees in this offense. I think people don't realize that Drew Brees has sucked for the last 2 years. He was terrible. He was not good. He was throwing like he had fucking half an arm. So I think Jameis is an upgrade for this Saints team and receivers. But Ghost, what the fuck? What is? Does Aaron Rodgers even care? Is he tanking? Is he not prepared? What like?
You know what? Someone in chat asked us yesterday why we're not talking about the Packers over the Saints, and I flat out said to him, I said, I don't believe in it. I wasn't big. I think Rodgers doesn't want to be there. He's going to play like he doesn't want to be there. And like you said, I'm big on Winston this year. I was very down on the Saints when Hill was in consideration, but the second that they locked up Winston as their quarterback, I went and drafted him in my big fantasy league. I told you I loved your pick of him in fantasy. That quarterback brings a different level to that offense that they haven't had, and we saw it yesterday, and that was a big reason why. And I explained to the chat, sometimes it's best just to stay away and just watch how the game unfolds. I was a believer in Winston, and I sat back and watched, and it proved to be true. So I felt good not touching it with my expectations on how Winston would perform.
Right. Bill, I don't think either of us had a bet on the game, right? We were just betting the props. So we were just betting for – and then the problem with it, Bill, was we loved the live betting. That was the one live bet that I lost. When that game got a little out of hand early, it was like, Rodgers is starting with the ball. He only had 2 possessions in the whole first half, right? Like the Saints had like nothing but 10-minute drives, so the Packers weren't on the field. Seemed like an easy overplay with the game flow situation to hit Rodgers. Started off great. And then he just fucking imploded and gave the game away. But what do you think, Bill?
I think he looked like shit, number one. He physically looked like shit.
Mm-hmm.
His weird beard, his long, weird hair.
Looks like he's in Castaway, right?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's still on vacation. Like, I don't know. He didn't play with the team the whole spring, the whole summer. Didn't practice, didn't play a preseason game, and it showed. Some people look at Dallas. Hold on a second. Dallas, you could see, did the same thing, but look how it transcended. Dallas played an awesome game. They didn't play their quarterback and their players during the spring. Played great.
But at least they were there, Bill.
Yeah, at least they were there.
That's the thing.
These guys weren't even in camp.
These guys were on planes chasing Rodgers around the country trying to get him to join the team when they should have been prepping for week 1.
Another reason why I think they played like shit. You can't. It's football. I mean, it's hard to just come up and start doing stuff. What were you saying?
Yeah.
I think people forget how good New Orleans defense was last year, and that was one of the reasons I stayed away from the Packers as well. Like you said, Rodgers hasn't been there. He hasn't wanted to be there. I looked at Adams' props. I saw it was 8.5 or 9.5 on the catches, and I just asked myself, how is he going to get there? I don't know. I'm just not big on the Packers this year, and I think the Saints are going to be a little underappreciated.
Yeah, one of the best props that came through was Healy's about 20 minutes before the game started. Taysom Hill over a half yard. And he hit that right out the gate. I didn't even know that prop was there. What was your take on the Rodgers situation?
There's a conspiracy going around that he's coming back to the Packers to destroy their season.
Because you know I'm the conspiracy theorist.
Rodgers to the Texans.
Rodgers to the Redskins. I don't. That wasn't him, and it's not even about. Well, did he look rusty? Did he look out of sync? He didn't fucking care. Like he didn't look like he fucking cared at all. So I'm in fucking hardcore stay away mode for a week or two until I.
Just a quick interjection. The Yankees are down 4-0 in the first.
I'm not even a Yankees fan anymore.
I mean.
Also, the Saints just signed Marshawn Lattimore to like the highest safety deal ever at signing.
They did look good. They looked very well. They're
good, man. They're a good team, dude. They're a good team. Jameis is an upgrade. So, any other takeaways from that Saints game? I mean, obviously, we all liked what we saw out of Jameis Winston. He hit the long ball when he needed it. He was checking down when he needed it. Obviously, it's easy to play with game flow. Jameis has, never had a problem in those situations. It's when the crunch time starts to come that he starts fucking up.
Before we go to the next game, I just want to ask. Hoffman asked me an interesting question yesterday. What team surprised you the most yesterday, and what team looked the best? So basically the same question. It should be the same answer what team surprised you the most, what team looked the best?
Ghosty, you want to start?
I'm right off the bat. Probably everybody's going to agree it was the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, I don't know if that surprised me, though, because the Cardinals do that about 5 or 6 times a year, right, where Kyler Murray just looks like the future of the NFL. And then they'll have other games where, they can't score inside the 5 in 5 straight times. So I wouldn't say that's surprising.
But did you expect their defense to play like that? I understand Kyler Murray, but look at their defense.
Yeah, no, it was definitely one of the top 2. I'll say that. I mean,
you expect their defense to shut the Titans down like that?
Chandler Jones had 5 sacks.
Henry did nothing.
It's insane.
Nothing.
That was insane. That was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't think anything really surprised me. I guess the Chargers' ability to move the ball on Washington, I was really high on that Washington defense. I know they only put up 20 points, but I don't think that was as much the Washington defense being bad as it was me just being a little lower on the Chargers than I should be. I think that's a playoff team, and I think they're a really good squad.
Well, that was the team I was going to talk about, too, was the Chargers. And I've been saying it all preseason, going into drafts, that I didn't think that the Chargers were going to be as good as everyone was hyping them to be. The fact that they brought in the coordinator from the Saints, they were expecting a lot more out of Eckler. I told you I didn't think he was going to be a big factor in the passing game with Herbert. Their correlation last year together wasn't that impressive. And I'm looking at the box score now. I don't see him, unless I'm reading it wrong, I don't see him having 1 catch yesterday. He had 15 carries for 57 yards. He did get in the end zone, but that's not a first-round pick for me. And I was impressed that the Chargers didn't do what they did. I was just a little underwhelmed, but it could be with Fitzpatrick going down how McLaurin did yesterday. That was
it's that game. While we're on it, might as well talk about it. That fucked me too. I loved Washington. Fitz going down. I do like Heineke. So I mean, everyone's talking about Cam Newton to the Redskins. So we should address this now, right? Listen, if he doesn't go to the Redskins, he's not going anywhere again. If his old coach of 9 years, which offense he knows, who has a personal relationship with, doesn't bring him in now when he has basically 1 quarterback on his roster, that's just going to send a statement to every other coach in the NFL that this dude's washed and done. And I don't think, why the fuck would the Redskins want him? I mean, that didn't end well in Carolina. Why would you want to go back?
I'll tell you one thing about that. What's going to hurt him going to Redskins is, it's crazy how the universe works, as you say, Tom. Redskins play Thursday night. If they signed him today, he doesn't have enough time to play for Thursday, correct? If they signed him today, he might be able to play Sunday. But you bring him in now knowing he's a backup. Heineke's worried, that's not my team anymore. He plays shitty. They get the loss. He might be just in a situation where that game, if that game was Sunday, he might have got signed today. But that game being Thursday, I think it hurts that.
Nah, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Why would you want him on the team? Why would you want him?
He's not going to go there. He's not going to walk in and start day one. He's going to need weeks to get ready. I mean, it's football.
You never know.
It's not baseball. You can't just plug a guy in.
The problem I have is Heineke performed so well, in my opinion, against the Bucs last year in the playoffs. I feel like he's earned that spot now that it's down to take over that number one spot. And if they don't give it to him, if they don't give him that chance, if I'm him, I'm asking for a trade because he looks like he has the potential to start somewhere, and this should be.
That's what I was saying, Ghost. What happens if they signed him and they bring someone in? He's starting Thursday regardless. And now he knows they just signed him. Obviously, he comes in, he's the starter. You know that. They're not signing him as a backup. So it's a lose right now. He's not going to get signed because the game is on Thursday. That's my feeling.
I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with that, honestly. I think it's just that he sucks. Like, I mean, why does everyone tap dance around this issue? Didn't we already go through this same fucking thing with Colin Kaepernick? Like, dude, Colin Kaepernick sucks. And he's better than Cam Newton. Like, Cam Newton sucks.
You're talking about a guy who was an MVP of the league and another guy who went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. And Andy Dalton was a fucking star at one point.
If you're in the Super Bowl and you're not willing to dive on the ball that you just fumbled, you don't belong in the fucking league.
Guys, I don't care what he did 7 years ago.
He sucks.
I don't care what he did in the Super Bowl fucking 7 years ago. Like, this is 2021. He sucks now. If it was Cam Newton from the Super Bowl year, yeah, you fucking sign him in a heartbeat and make him the starter. If it's 6 years ago Cam. But that's not who this is. This is a piece of garbage. He's terrible. He's a cancer. He's a fucking bad locker room guy. He's got a bad attitude. He fucking does podcasts with his dad where he speaks in a fucking third person, running his mouth that you got to worry about. Fans don't like him. No one fucking likes him, and he's not good. He averaged like 170 yards passing a game last year under Belichick. Like, I mean, if you can't succeed in Belichick offense, you're trash.
That's an offense also that Tom Brady walked away from because they were so bad. So you can't really put that on him.
Well, you can, because Matt Castle was great when he was there. Jimmy Garoppolo was great when he was there. Fucking Brissett was great when he was there. These guys are trash everywhere else they went. So every backup quarterback to Brady over the last 15 years has looked like a superstar in the limited moments they've had in that offense, signed monster contracts.
On a better team.
And then they went on to suck. What I'm saying is if you can't succeed in that Patriots offense, you're trash.
You can't compare it to last year.
I don't understand why we're even talking about Cam fucking Newton.
What?
I just don't think.
I don't understand why we're even talking about him. He's a garbage. He's out of the league. He's not going to be in the league. He doesn't deserve to be.
Yeah, I think he's dead. And Bill, you got to remember, that Patriots offense was never stacked, dude. They won a Super Bowl with Troy Brown as a wide receiver.
Well, I mean, they had a lot better of a team than they did last year. On both sides of the ball. You had guys who stacked because...
Dude, they were playing cornerbacks at wide receiver in the Super Bowl. That's how depleted that team was most of the time. They had 5'7" white guys in the slot. Like, that team was never stacked with talent outside of the Moss years. But either way, so... we're all in agreement Cam Newton shit and should be out of the league. Let's go through another game here. I'm going to start off at the top. We did the Thursday recap, right? We already ran through the Thursday games and all that, so we don't need to go back on that. Go watch the last episode. Eagles-Falcons, Bill. Let's go 60 seconds on each game with the big thing you saw here. You're a Falcons fan. What did you take away from it?
Again, Falcons can't score in the red zone. Pretty much. If they scored them 2 times without bringing a coup in from the inside the 10, actually inside the 5, 21 and a 23-yard field goal, they probably, that game's probably close because they have 14 points. The only points they scored were 2 field goals by coup. Never got the ball close again. That drained the team. And I believe I read somewhere Pitts is out next week. So you said that before. Why aren't they playing him? I think he was hurt. I think he got hurt. I think there was so much pressure for him to play that they played him, even though he had a little bit of a 9-week injury, and I think he's out Sunday. So
if he got hurt, on the first target because he didn't play for like the next 12 plays. I was screaming about it on the microphone. He wasn't in at all.
Probably why. Yep.
The whole first quarter, and then he came in and didn't look great.
Mm-hmm.
Any takeaways from that game for you, Ghost?
I'm just surprised that people are down on Jalen as they've been, especially in the offseason. I still believe in him. I'm not really surprised, but I don't know. I like him more than Tua, so I like that he went off yesterday.
I like him more than Tua. I also think he's one of those guys. He's like one of those guys that you'll see beat the hell out of bad teams, but the second the talent level steps up, he gets owned. So I think you're going to see that throughout the year with him. And the Falcons' struggles in the red zone have been going on for 2 years. Is the reason why Bill Rupp discovered Young-Ho Koo. I mean, we played the Koo prop. People were looking at us like, who the fuck's giving out a 1.5 field goal Young-Ho Koo prop? We bet it every week, guys. Every single fucking week.
I just don't understand why the Falcons still giving Matt Ryan his chance.
Yeah.
He's done.
I mean, the thing about that prop, though, you got to hit that every week because Koo's amazing. Like Evan just said, he's a monster. But on top of that, he gets opportunities from the 5-yard line every game because they can't score. So same thing with Arizona. They get a lot of field goal attempts inside the red zone normally. So let's move on to the next game here. Rackets is Bills, Steelers, Bills. This game was a complete shit show from top to bottom, from the beginning to end. Very boring, very horrible, even when the Bills were winning. Excuse me.
Both teams.
What'd you think, Phil?
Both teams were.
Do we need to be worried about the Bills, and are the Steelers for real?
Well, I told you my pick for that division is Miami. The Bills just looked very bad. Steelers, Roethlisberger looked bad. Both of those quarterbacks look bad. I'm telling you right now, I don't really like either of those two teams. Ghost and I went over it right before the season started, and he said that Bills could go like 1-4 or 2-5 or whatever you were saying, and I kind of agree. So that's all I have to say about that.
Ghost.
Yeah, just looking at Josh Allen, I mean, the jumps and leaps he's taken over his first 3 years, I just don't see how people expected him to get even better than he was last season. You know, I didn't buy into the hype, like Bill was just saying. We talked about it. We looked at the schedule. I see the Bills starting maybe 2-4 in the first 6 games. I'm not as sold on them as everyone else is. And when you go against Roethlisberger, you know, he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He does bring a level to that Pittsburgh team that puts him in a chance to win every game, and they did.
Yeah, he's not as good as he was last year. I said it last year. I said that was an out-of-body experience. It was just a magical year with an easy schedule that Allen went through. I didn't think he was a second-round, third-round pick in fantasy. I didn't want anything to do with him. He won't end up. If I drafted 1,000 teams, he would have been on 0 of them because there was no way I was paying up for him. Not that I don't think he's good. Same thing in DFS. I mean, he's good. We took a flyer on him. I think he was like my 4th quarterback listed. But, you know, I don't see it with him. I don't think he's that good. So I think the Bills are better than what we saw yesterday, but not as good as they were last year. You know, I think they're about a 9-10 win team. They'll make the playoffs probably, but they're not going to be walking through with a bye and walking away with the division. On the Steelers side of the ball, Ben Roethlisberger is just trash. He just looks like garbage. I can't believe they won that game. So that's an embarrassment for the Bills. Vikings, Bengals, my boy Joey. Oh, God, I love Joe Burrow. I fucking worship him so much. So good to see him back. And he got better looking this year, too. The dude's just sex. I mean, he's just sex top to bottom. Joey Buckets. He's fucking amazing. Nothing more you could say. That dude is going to go down as one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. And it's starting now. You're going to start to see it now with the weapons that he has. Fucking Chase looked good. He actually caught the ball coming out of the preseason drops. T. Higgins, I fucking am obsessed with. Tyler Boyd, he's got weapons. He's got Mixon. This team could be dangerous, guys. The Bengals could be dangerous if they can get the defensive side of the ball lined up at all this year.
Agree.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bill, sorry.
I agree. The game, I thought the game was pretty good. Minnesota came back. They played a great game. Tom, you called it at the end, and one of our friends jumped on Minnesota. No, and you should take the Bengals. Like you said, Burrow, 20 for 27, 261, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 128 quarterback rating. I mean, what can you say?
Clutch too. Just sex.
Someone asked me.
Nixon had a great.
Someone asked me in our fantasy chat yesterday, guys, which you can get in. It's only $25 for the year. We have season-long advice all season for you. They flat out asked you if they should start Herbert or Burrow yesterday, and I said, look, when you draft Herbert where you do it, it's hard to bench him. But if I'm taking a quarterback in that spot, I'm taking Burrow over Herbert, and I, like you said, Tom, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You think ever? I don't know if I'd jump that far yet, but I am very big on him this year, and I think that team's going to be very underrated.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a kid who came out of college more prepared for the NFL than Joe Burrow. Just huge superstar status. Evan, any take on any of the games we talked about, or Burrow or any of that?
I love Burrow. I was upset that he got hurt last year, but I mean, the dude that just has a connection with Jamar Chase right now, I think that's going to be absolutely lethal. A lot of rookie wide receivers went off yesterday too. Devontae Smith, obviously Jamar Chase. I don't know, just good day for rookies.
Yeah, it was good. Bad day for young quarterbacks. Good day for young receivers. Yeah. That's for sure. Let's go on to the next one. 49ers Lions. Tommy G, survivor pick of the week. Ghost wanted me to give 3 survivor picks for this week, so I said the Niners, and the Niners. So any play but the Niners was the wrong play. Me and Ghost were arguing about it. I don't know why you would have done anything else yesterday in your survivor pools, because they've had 10 tough games in a row coming.
It was a sweat.
That's where I'm going. So I was skull fucking everyone because Bill wanted the Jaguars or some shit, and I was like, guys, Jaguars are going to lose the game. Like, don't do that. I've been telling everyone all week the Jaguars are going to lose the fucking game. That game got real scary at the end. They were up like 41-17. I went and took a shit and came back, and it was like an 8-point game. So, what do we think here? I mean, it was a very strange game. I think Detroit still sucks. That was fluky. Garoppolo actually looked pretty decent. What's your takeaway from this game?
Garoppolo, again, his numbers were all right. 314, a touchdown. A lot of fumbling. Onside kicks. I mean, like you say, Goff was Goff. 338, 38 for 57. Isn't that Goff?
Well, that's garbage time.
2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's what he does.
No, that's not a real stat line. That stat line's fake. That was like 238 with like no touchdowns and 1 interception until
Goff is. What I'm saying is Goff is Goff. At the end of the day, when they're down, he throws for another 200 yards. When you're not looking at the end of the game and gets garbage time, garbage points. Goff was Goff. Yeah. That's what he does. You want a quarterback who will keep you in game. You'll never get blown out. That'll be him. You'll never get blown out because you're down by 20, and then he makes it magical. You're down by 7 at the end.
Yeah. Ghost.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to allow Detroit to get back into that game. I kind of stopped watching it after San Fran took that big lead. I think Jimmy G is going to last a little longer than people think with Trey Lance behind him. I do like Garoppolo. I think he has the ability to lead this team at least to maybe a deep playoff run if he doesn't get hurt. And same with the survivor argument. The only thing I argued was that the Niners were the right pick. I had them as my pick. I just don't like putting all my eggs in one basket, especially in week 1. So that's the only reason why I differentiated with them, and I took the Ravens tonight.
It's just a difference in penis size, brother. That's all it is. A little bigger dick over here. That's all it is. Just bigger dick.
The reason that game was called 3 fumbles lost in the second half.
Yeah. That was bad.
Onside kick. That's 4 turnovers. 3 of them were scores.
The worst thing that happened to me all day was to hear that Sermon was out and go Mostert. I mean, that fucked me so hard. I was in a $3,333 DFS entry for $1 million first place prize with Mostert, and I moved on to him late with that news, which then made me move off because of the money difference of who I had in there. Then made me move out Hawkinson and go up to Pitts. So I actually got fucked on 2 levels. It cost me about $12,000, $14,000, just that one announcement. So that sucked, especially since he was averaging 10 yards a carry for the 2 carries he got before he got hurt. So 2 for 20 before that. But yeah, not much here. I mean, we know Detroit sucks, and the Niners are going to be pretty good. I think you'll start seeing a little more Lance. I think they'll start mixing him in a little bit in spots like they did yesterday. Cardinals Titans we talked about. I mean, listen. Cardinals just came out and fucking skull fucked. By the way, with the Lions, you have to keep an eye on the fact that Jamal Williams, Swift, and Hawkinson are the 3 guys, the only 3 guys you want on that team. And Swift and Williams, like we said, will be both getting a lot of touches, a lot of receptions. So keep an eye on those 3. Hawkinson's the number 1 wide receiver on that team. And they're going to be trailing, so there are 24 catches between the 3 of those guys. So they're all going to be viable every week, seasonal and DFS. For the Cardinals game, I mean, listen, Kyler Murray was fantastic. Titans sucked. What happened to the Titans, Bill?
I mean, I don't think they're really that good of a football team anyway. I never believed in Tannehill. I'm not a Tannehill fan. Tannehill was Tannehill. 212 yards, touchdown, and a pick. That's him in a nutshell. Derrick Henry was the reason why he had 17 carries for 58 yards, no touchdowns. Couldn't move the ball. They couldn't run the ball. They did nothing. Nothing offensively to keep themselves in that game. That was it right there. Derrick Henry did nothing. They couldn't run the ball. That means they couldn't throw the ball. And Tannehill's not that good to take over a game by himself.
Ghost, all the big Julio Jones talk, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry. This team is going to be fucking juggernaut. What's going on in Tennessee?
It wasn't for me. The only disappointing aspect of it was my shares of Julio. I thought he would have at least fit in nicely in that number 2 role, almost like Corey Davis did last year, but he didn't do shit. Cost me in DFS. I'm glad I stayed away from the Titans. It was the way that they burned me last year against the Colts. They just seem to get blown out at home in these special spots. This is a chance for them to make an early statement against a good Cardinals team, and they shit the bed.
The thing about the Titans is if they don't get up early, you got to fucking just pray, because they need to just pound the rock with Henry. If they don't get a lead or if he doesn't get going early, late in the season, they're a much better team when defenses start to wear down. You see Henry's December numbers. November, December numbers are fucking incredible, like the best in NFL history. He just gets better as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think Tannehill is just extremely overrated, like Bill said.
Yeah, so, I mean, and then Arizona, that's their ceiling game. You're going to see that 4 or 5 more times this year. So nothing crazy there. Seahawks, Colts, I mean, I didn't really watch much of this game outside of the highlights. Wilson was my my top quarterbacks for DFS. My number 1 pay-up quarterback was Kyler Murray, who went crazy. My number 1 mid-tier was Russell Wilson, who did fantastic. My cheap guy was Fitzpatrick, who got hurt. And then my door number 3 was Tyrod Taylor. So outside of Fitz getting hurt, nutted the quarterbacks, and Russ was Russ, man. Just fucking connecting on deep balls. Lockett looked great. DK looked good in the second half, at least once he got involved. Colts defense was the thing that surprised me most in this game. Looked kind of shitty. Bill?
I honestly probably saw 2 plays in this game. I didn't watch it. There was other guys I had. I couldn't really tell you what really happened in that game. All I saw was Seattle up the whole time. Carson Wentz numbers looked pretty good. 251, 2 touchdowns. And Russell Wilson was Russell Wilson, 254 and 4. No picks. That's just basically it. I didn't have any of these guys in any type of bets or anything. So this game was just pretty much a stay away from me. I didn't like the game at all. I didn't really like any of the players. I really didn't bet on anything in this game.
Yeah, I didn't have. It was kind of just peek at the highlights type game for me too. Outside of DK. Yeah. Ghost, what's your take on this one? Obviously, we know a little bit of line struggles there.
I don't personally watch the Colts. I think they're one of the most boring teams in the league. I don't like anybody on that team, but I said it at the end of our last show. I couldn't understand how the Seahawks were only minus 150 against them. I'm at a loss for words. That line was off. That game was off. Colts are going to suck this year.
Yeah. Poor Rackets isn't going to have a good year with the Colts and Bills looking like they did in week 1 right there. Next game here on the list, Jaguars, Texans. This was a fun one for me. We already talked Jets, Panthers. I don't think we need to go into depth on that anymore. Jaguars, Texans. This was a fun one for me, being that for some fucking reason, everyone and their mother seems to think Trevor Lawrence is good, and he's fucking terrible. Like, this guy's going to be horrible his whole career. He's basically he's basically Tua. That's basically what he is. Release is too long. He's going to make some big plays with his legs. He's going to get a shit ton of garbage time. And maybe every once in a while make a big play that you'll hear about for 4 weeks on ESPN because they want to fucking suck on his cock. But Trevor Lawrence sucks. And Bill, do you agree with me now after seeing even though 332 and 3 touchdowns looks great, we know that.
I paid attention to that game because I did take them in one of my survivor pools. I thought the Texans weren't going to win a game. Tyrod Taylor won them that game. Hands down. He played awesome. Almost 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He played great. It was it. He won them that game. Trevor Lawrence's passes were way off. Not even close. Just like I saw Wilson was way off. He was way off. The passes were 5 yards each side of the guy.
In a world of the unexpected, customers.
There you go again, Tommy. There you go.
Is that me?
No, that was me, ESPN.
Right.
I noticed
when you
go into one of the games, if you leave it broad, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So he looked awful. He didn't even run the ball. He had 1 carry for -2 yards, which was surprising to me. I thought they were going to use him more of I just think
RPO type plays and shit.
Yeah, very weird. I don't know how. anyway, they look like shit. I agree now. He's not ready.
Yeah, he's not. He's never going to be ready. It's not that he's not ready. He's not good.
It's going to be a long year in Jacksonville.
Dude, if he played,
I'm glad I took the under 6.5.
If he played in the SEC instead of that shit fucking conference that he played in throughout his college career, where he didn't have to face the Alabamas and LSUs and all them every week, you would not be talking about this kid like this. He had cupcake matchups most of his college career, and every big game, I didn't like what I saw out of him. So Tyrod looked good. Ghost, I mean, I had him as my door number 3 quarterback. He was my favorite prop of the day, his rushing prop. I think he's going to be all right over there, man. One thing about Tyrod Taylor, I won $250,000 playing him in a live final when he was on the Bills. Just because of the rushing upside. I think he's going to be DFS viable, and I think the props are going to be fun with him. That was a bad game for him. They had a tremendous lead, which means they were in neutral most of the second half, and he still put up monster numbers.
Yeah, for me, that game was just shit versus shit. I had no interest in it. There was no way I was risking my survivor pick on Trevor Lawrence. I'm glad the Jets didn't get him. I had no interest, and I will not have any interest on Jacksonville anywhere this season.
All right, cool. We got a couple games left, and then we're going to go into the Monday Night Football game, get out of here in 15 minutes. So cut this off right at the hour mark. So the next game, Browns-Chiefs, I will say, we see this all the time. Do you believe that was the first time in his career that Patrick Mahomes has come back from an 8-point halftime deficit?
Second?
First. That was the first time ever. Now, I don't know if that's just because he's 7-4 being down by double digits. I don't know if it's
got to exclude playoffs then, right?
No, dude, I'm telling you, I saw it twice today on TV.
When they were down 24-0 to the Texans
at the half, they came back in the second quarter. Right, they were tied in the second quarter. They might have the lead at the half in that game. The second quarter, they were
Titans. Yeah, I gotta look into
I'm thinking it's got to be one of those weird stats where maybe he just hasn't been down by 8 or more much at the half, and that's.
But they're always down at the half. We always say that.
I know, but that's why they're using that number 8. But guys in the chat, look into it, man. I saw it twice on 2 different sites, but he's actually 7-4 as a quarterback, been down double digits at some point.
Yeah, they were actually winning at half that game. They were down 24-0.
Yeah, it's a weird stat. It's a weird stat. But so, what did you guys think? I mean, I hit him live. The Chiefs, obviously, I knew they were going to come back. I knew Baker was going to fucking collapse like he always does. But they played pretty good, the Browns. But it's just, this is what we see out of the Chiefs, Bill, every time. They start slow.
Browns they did surprise me. They played very well. I think getting Odell Beckham back will only help them. They played very well. I was, great. I mean, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I had them all week long in my parlay. I hedged a little bit in the third quarter when it got back to hedging. And then I said, what am I doing? And I just rebet the Chiefs again. So I actually bought my hedge back and, rebought it out because they were just better. They're just a better football team. I mean, what else? There's really nothing to say about the Chiefs.
I see some people in the chat asking. Guys, the name of the site that we post all the picks and have the subscriptions in the chat room on is 4deepbets.com. Number 4deepbets.com. So that's the name of the site. You can go into subscriptions. Use code VIP20, and we can get 20% off the whole entire site. So VIP20 gets you 20% off any package. We spent the whole day yesterday, the whole day Saturday, and the whole day Friday in the voice chat sweating with everyone. So we're not just giving you picks. We're in there hanging out with you guys, talking to you guys, drinking with you guys, fucking screaming. I broke a fucking Apple fucking thing yesterday. And fucking
Live bets.
Yeah, all of it. So we fuck over there. And we got a lot of hot chicks. So if you're horny, there's a lot of stuff to look at there. We can put chicks in
live. You're not going to get live bets any other site. No one is sitting with you while games are going on. No one. All in there. Plus the other.
But nobody between me and Bill. There's nobody better out there.
Yeah.
What did you say, you fucking punk?
He said it right.
You just said between him and Bill, like leaving me out?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, good. We're gonna have another competition because you tried to claim you were the Survivor King, and that lasted about 4 hours before we realized you were wrong.
Good. Next game.
All right. Let's see. So we're going Dolphins, Patriots. We already talked about that. Patriots, Saints talked about that. Broncos, Giants. That was the easiest fucking bet of the day, I thought. I mean, Giants suck. Daniel Jones sucks. Half a Saquon Barkley. Ghost had him as his number 5th or 17th survivor team that he picked. Who knows?
Listen, I always admit when I was wrong. I gave the Giants more credit than they deserved. I thought their defense would be better. I thought they'd be able to contain Bridgewater a bit more than they did, and like you said, the fucking offense was just garbage.
Daniel Jones is terrible. He's going to be out of the league or just wandering from team to team. The Giants are going to have to cut bait with him in a year or two.
He can't stop fumbling. That's been his MO all the way through college. I think he leads the league in fumbles lost in the past.
He's about to break a record, like 19 since 2019. Fumble.
He can't stop fumbling. He can't stop fumbling.
Fucking disaster.
He can't stop fumbling. What I do think was a good call was we were back and forth on Saquon. Tommy and I are partners in a fantasy league. Tommy made the call to sit Saquon, which was our first pick, which was a great call.
Our second round pick. We got a mid-second
round. Yeah, sorry.
We got Chubb in the first.
Great call. I don't know if I could have done it, but yeah, the Giants are crap. They're bad. They're just what
was impressive, Bill, though, what made it even worse was that their receivers balled out. Like, if you watch that game, Slayton, Shepard, and Galladay were making some catches, like full extension catches over the middle, getting hit while they were catching the ball. Galladay did it like 2 or 3 times. So their receivers played really fucking well, and they still fucking looked like shit. So
Jones will put up numbers, 267 and a touchdown.
Hey, he got us our rushing prop. That's all I care about.
Yeah, he does get you that, which they always underestimate that. But look, they had no one. He was the leading rusher on the team at 27 yards. You're not winning a football game when your quarterback who runs for 27 yards on 6 carries is the leading rusher.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Pound the Denver win total over. Denver's defense will be one of the top 3 defenses in the entire NFL this year. Their secondary is insane. That defense is nasty. So we're going to be betting them pretty much every week. And then the Rams game goes Rams-Bears. Me and you are huge Stafford guys. I don't think there's 2 bigger Stafford on the Rams guys in the universe than me and you. And we took a little victory lap last night, didn't we, brother?
I love that game. I love Stafford. I've been talking about it all preseason, and I loved Cooper Kupp. I kept screaming Cooper Kupp over Robert Woods. I loved it. It was my biggest bet of the day. His receiving yards, I couldn't understand how it was 64.5. And this is why my Monday morning is so fucking miserable, because I accidentally put fucking Woods in my place instead of Kupp. Thousands of dollars. But, from a call standpoint, we smashed in the chat. We had it posted all week. That was my biggest play, my favorite play. And, you can expect a lot of that all season.
Yeah, that's... I did the same thing on Saturday, dude. I clicked Arkansas State instead of Arkansas on a parlay that cost me $5,000.
Yep.
Happens.
Not fun when you click the fucking wrong button. It never happens the other way, right? Like,
both their names have 4 letters in it.
And they're right next to each other with the same yardage.
Right next to each other, and their yards were 1 yard off. Yeah. It was just such a stupid mistake.
What are the chances Arkansas and Arkansas State were both playing at 330 and both plus 170 on the money line on Saturday? Yep. Like, what? I just command F'd Arkansas. It came up. I saw the line. I'm like, there it is, plus 170. Boom, put it in. I didn't realize till the second quarter. And it's never the situation where Arkansas is getting skull fucked and Arkansas State wins and you win because of it. It's always 100% of the time Arkansas wins as an outright dog.
The worst part was I didn't realize that I lost until I went and counted up the money.
Yeah,
it wasn't there.
That's the worst. And by the way, Arkansas State scored 50 points in that game too, and didn't.
Still lost.
Me and Porter scored 50 points and didn't win. So Evan, any take on any of the stuff we just went down that you want to throw in before we get to tonight's game?
Yeah, I want to know what the fuck Matt Nagy's doing.
I don't think Matt Nagy knows what the fuck Matt Nagy is.
Andy Dalton stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw Justin Fields in the game just to hand the ball off. I don't understand.
He puts him in one play, the second play of the game, to throw a 8-yard play, and then he takes him out, and he never comes back. And then he comes in when Montgomery was hurt, when they were taping up his hand to run the ball twice. Running back.
And Chris Collinsworth
for a touchdown. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth were like, yeah, it's just to get him, acclimated, and Andy Dalton's a seasoned veteran. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Trevor Lawrence is starting in Jacksonville. Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, all those guys.
That game was so boring last night that us in the chat, who were still there, switched to the MTV
Music Awards
video which is another story in itself. Holy Christ, I don't know what's going on there. Men dressed as women.
Yeah.
There's
Russell
one guy
Westbrook.
in a shower, a prison setup. They're in prison.
Yeah, a little nuts.
Naked men in the shower, showering with each other.
Save it for no mercy.
Reeling them in.
Save it for no mercy.
Dark side, Bill.
One of the guys in a dumpster with a Jesus crown on, with a Mary behind him, and he's laying like that, and then he starts singing. I don't know what was going on. Then the other woman was wearing a chair as a hat. A chair! She was wearing a chair, and then she took the chair off her head and sat down.
Evan, by the way, just so you know, I don't know if you know this or not. Bill hates conspiracy theories. Hates everything that I do. I know Evan's like, no conspiracy, like back on the rails. Yeah. No, Bill is coming to the dark side little by little. Whenever Bill watches an award show, he starts to realize I'm not crazy, that they're trying to fucking flip this country into satanic trannies everywhere. So.
Oh, and then the one guy comes out with, because Iconic was in there, he comes out with horns. Horns on him. Horns! The whole thing was a god and religion. It was insane.
Well,
don't get me started.
You will be on No Mercy soon.
Yeah, next week. We'll book
next
you.
week.
Insane, bro. The whole thing was insane.
Satanic worship, Bill.
Tune in 5:30 today, Ruppin' Rackets on the Discord. I will be going into depth about that because I have a lot to say about what happened.
So what you guys do, too, and then we're going to go into the game tonight and give a couple picks for the game. We'll put the rest of the picks behind the paywall for the subscribers. We'll give out a free bet or two on the show here before we log off. But at 4deepbets.com, we do shows behind the paywall. So me and Healy did a DFS show Friday night for all the subscribers. We had all our DFS articles. We have DFS and gambling stuff going on every day, pretty much. Ruppin' Rackets have Ruppin' Rackets in the morning, which takes place at 5:30 in the afternoon. So makes sense of that. But Ruppin' Rackets in the morning is in the Discord at 5:30 to 6 every day. And then from 6 to 6:30, 6:40, the guys do a DFS show with all of us, which we all pop in and out. And then we do sweat shows at night where, the Monday Night Football will definitely have a show going tonight where we all log in there and drink. At some point, one of us will get pissed off either through a fight or a bad call or a bet where we'll log off for like an hour. So expect that. It's been me twice this weekend. But yeah, so what's that, Bill?
Last night.
No, I was done last night. After the Patriots fumble, I was done. And when they pulled Rodgers with a whole quarter left, I was out. I'm like, guys, that's it. I put in my 35 hours in the voice chat for the weekend. I'm going to go drink myself to death in my friend's basement. That's it. But I deserved that after that fumble. So let's get to the game tonight here. So I think we're on opposite sides. I have a pending play currently right now on the site, which was the Rams, and I did an alternate line, kind of a teaser, but I did it with alt lines. I have the Raiders plus 11.5 tonight. So I kind of like the Raiders at home in this spot. I think it's a sneaky dog play. I think the whole country's going to be on the fucking Ravens. I think that running back situation is going to be a little iffier than people think, losing a bunch of bell cow backs and having a bunch of scrap heap guys sitting in there with Tyson and whoever the fuck else they run out. Not really any preseason for Lamar Jackson, who doesn't have much chemistry with his receivers to begin with normally. That usually evolves throughout the year. Long trip going fucking far East Coast to West Coast. I think this is a trap line spot. I think a lot of people are going to be pretty pissed off who are going to fucking put their entire life savings on the Ravens today. I think they could lose the game. So I'm sure you guys are on the opposite side. Bill, start with you. Before you say anything, did you know that Josh Jacobs probably won't play tonight? I don't even care. Not even worried about that at all. This is not really a pro-Raider play. This is more of an anti-Raven play. So I'm not too worried about anything. I just feel like this is really trappy, this line. I don't really have a bet on the game. This isn't my bet, by the way. I don't even know if I'm going to have a bet. I'm going to give my bet out in a second. I don't really have a bet on the game as of right now. On the side, I'm going to do props and live props. Again, anything can happen. I'm with you. Raiders could win this game. They could. Who the hell knows? I just don't like it. I don't like the line, 190. Just a little fishy to me. I think the Raiders could win. But I don't think they're going to win. So, but like I said, I'm going to do props and in-game betting on this. So a lot of in-game betting, most likely, if it plans on going the way I think it's going to go. Okay. Ghost, what about you? I know you're on the Ravens, right?
just don't see how you think that the Raiders even have a chance to win tonight. I don't know if I'll be laying the -190 on the Ravens, but I think that this is just a great spot for them. The running back situation doesn't worry me as much as it probably should.
How funny that starts with "we did it again" too.
Yeah. Lamar's rushing prop is standing out to me tonight, so I'm going to be on that. And I was talking to Bill about it before. The Ravens team total is 27.5. My buddy that helps out with the seasonal fantasy pointed it out. 27.5 team total, but Lamar's passing touchdowns are only 1.5, and it's plus money on MGM right now. You can get a plus 110. Without a running game, you're going to have to expect him to throw the ball, so he's either going to rush it in for himself or he's going to have 2 or 3 passing TDs tonight. So those will be the 2 plays I'm looking at.
I actually don't hate that. I'm fine with that, actually.
You say it like it's so surprising that I said something worth.
It is. I was very shocked.
You want to know the funniest thing is when me and Ghost talked before the show, and he was talking to me about the touchdown passes.
Oh, you guys are so much better at live betting than me.
Over 1.5 plus 115. I had already put that in this morning. That was my first play of the day. I love it. I think he's going to throw for 2 easily and then maybe run 1 in. So I think he's going to have 3 touchdowns with the point total being almost 28. I love it. That's going to be me and Ghost end up being on our best bets we're on the same thing. So that's just double money for everybody who wants.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, we could be on the same bet. It's your best bet. If it happens to be.
And we didn't know until after we spoke that we had both bet it, which makes it even better.
I'm very high on Lamar last year. I know he didn't play up to his standards in the first 9 or 10 weeks of the season, but once he came back from COVID last year, he was on another level. You can attribute some of it to Dobbins going off as well, but I think he's back to that form. I think he's going to be regular season MVP form this year. I'm riding it tonight, and I'm riding him tonight, and I think we see a very big game from him, especially with how shitty that Raiders defense is. Bill mentioned it. They think Jacobs might not even play today. I think this is going to be a very big game for the Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little worried about more than just the running backs on the Baltimore side. Obviously, Boyle's out. Marcus Peters is out. Jimmy Smith might not play. Wolf is out. So, I mean, they're missing a lot on the defensive side, too. And the Raiders, they're pretty good at home. Bill, you remember, I was high on the Raiders when everyone thought they were going to be horrific, and I kept winning money on the Raiders. So maybe I'm a little biased here, but I do like them. There's definitely 2 plays. I hope you guys are right for my bets purposes, because my big money is going to be on some props.
Waller.
And it would be advantageous for me.
Waller.
Actually, what? Not Waller.
Come on.
I'll have to play on Waller, obviously.
It's Henry Ruggs.
It's Ruggs, yeah. So I like Edwards and Ruggs. So I'm still deciding whether I want to go to 2.5 receptions. I think that's where I'm leaning. Over 2.5 receptions for Ruggs is going to be my favorite bet of the day. We saw him get more involved in the offense as the season went on last year. This is a guy who's got a lot of talent. They spent a pretty high pick on him. I think this is a pretty good spot because the matchup's probably the best matchup on the field. Baltimore really owns the slot. So I think Ruggs is going to see 6-7 targets in this game. I think the 34.5 is too low on him. I think the 37.5 on Edwards is too low. I think Edwards catches is too low. I think Ruggs catches are too low. Everyone's going to run to Waller, but I think the Baltimore defense is going to hone in on Waller. I think you're going to see these 2 guys. I mean, it's like a Woods Cup situation, but light, right? Like a lower version of it, where you only need 35 yards pretty much from each of them. Bang them both. I'm going to be betting both their total receptions and both their total yards. I think they both go over, but my favorite bet is Ruggs over 2.5. And then I have a couple other plays that I'll give out on the site once we get off the show. So, Ed, what's your take on the game tonight?
I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Hunter Renfrow is a dark horse this year, because you got Darren Waller and Henry Ruggs getting focused. This guy in the slot could be lethal. I'm going to take him in a few of my lineups tonight, see how that plays out.
Yeah, I love Renfrow in the year. He's a Tommy G type of guy. Those little fucking scrappy white guys in the slot. He loves scrappy white guys.
Crazy.
Yeah, but all right. Final words.
Go ahead, Ghost.
No. Go.
I just wanted to bring up something real fast. So I saw a story. Was the biggest gambling weekend of the history in sports gambling.
Shit.
GeoComply, that thing that we have to download every time we want to put plays in on our freaking things. 58 million transactions were made from Thursday till Sunday. 58 million transactions. The NFL partnered with a lot of teams, with a lot of sports betting companies. They're standing to make $270 million this year, the NFL alone, from that. So the NFL is all in on sports gambling. They love sports gambling. 58 million transactions. New Jersey, by far, they said was the biggest tally of the weekend. New Jersey killed it. They made the most money. Vegas wasn't even in the top 4. Just to tell you guys how Vegas is totally moving away. Everyone else is finding these new places. Pennsylvania, Arizona.
You don't have to go to Vegas anymore. That's why.
Arizona, who just opened up, was like in the top 5. So
well, I mean, you look.
Wasn't even involved in the top 5. That's crazy.
The biggest thing about that, too, is you have all the states around Vegas. Denver, you have Colorado that just legalized. You have Arizona that just legalized. Mm-hmm. A lot of their population that comes from Arizona and Colorado, they basically touch, those 2 states. So that's going to cut into it. But Jersey's the new sports betting capital of the world for sure.
Yeah.
Final words, Ghost?
Just looking forward to tonight's game. I'm feeling as good about it as I did with the Lions last night, so see how it plays out.
Rams, you mean? All right, Bill, final words?
Tonight. Come on, join. Get in there. We're going to be giving out live plays. And don't miss 5:30, Rupp and Rackets.
Rupp and Rackets in the morning, in the afternoon.
In the morning, but in the afternoon.
Stupid fucking song, stupid fucking show, stupid fucking hosts. Evan, final words?
No final words.
Okay. That's good. Those are good final words.
No final words are my final words.
More